Yes, well, welcome everybody to season 2 of the Harlem FKN Globetrotters. As you can see, we have got our man, we've got Erling Haaland for this season. With a little bit of a caveat, he is only on loan. We didn't have the money to get him in on a permanent deal. We are paying around about £34 million to have him for this season. We do have the option to buy at the end of the season for 74 million. At the moment, I have no idea where we are going to get those 74 million from, but for the moment, I don't want to think about it. I just want to enjoy the fact that we've got him. You can see here, last season for Borussia Dortmund, he got 28 in 42 games, 21 in 31 in the league. He is, as we know, an exceptional striker, perhaps the best centre forward in the game, at least potentially the best centre forward in the game, because he's still young enough to improve, and he is going to absolutely rip it up in Ligue 1. You can see in pre-season he has scored 9 in 4 appearances. He's been absolutely phenomenal, forming a great partnership with Lionel Messi. And as we said, I wanted to see if I could get an upgrade on Icardi, and there's no better upgrade than this. This guy is the striker that can win you a Champions League. So we are really excited to have Erling Haaland now. We've got to look at how we raise the money to make it a permanent deal. But for the moment, we are simply going to enjoy having a look at this. 19 pace, 17 strength, 20 determination, 18 composure, 17 anticipation, 19 off the ball movement, 18 finishing. Still young enough to improve. Absolutely exceptional. But he is just one of a huge number of transfers that we've actually done this season. So if we have a look, if we look first of all at the outs, unfortunately, Mauro Icardi is gone. We sold him after getting Haaland. We were obviously a little bit overloaded up top. Liverpool came in with an offer, 47.5 million for Mauro Icardi, our top scorer from last season, the Ligue 1 top scorer. I'm sad to see him go, but at the same time, he was going to be the backup striker. It would have been lovely to have had both of them, but the offer came in, and with strengthening in other areas in mind and thinking about how do we get Haaland on the permanent transfer at the end of the season, I decided to accept this offer from Liverpool. So Mauro Icardi is now a Liverpool player, and we also managed to get rid of Danilo Pereira. Again, I was sort of okay with the idea of using him as a squad player this season, but Napoli came in with a £20 million offer, so I, again, thinking about strengthening in other areas, I decided to accept it. Paulo Sarabia came back from Sporting. He was on loan last season. Again, Napoli offered us 11 million, maybe a little bit less than I wanted, but we decided to accept that. He's just not good enough to play for us, so it's 11 million more than we had. Ander Herrera has gone to Arminia Bielefeld. I think 8 million. His age, he's going to be turning 33 very soon. I think it was a really good deal. Again, he wasn't going to play for us. He was using up I think it was 135,000 a week in wages. So fortunately, we managed to move him on. And then Sergio Rico, our third choice goalkeeper, Club America of Mexico, gave us £8 million for him. Was it 8 million? No, it was 6 million, I think. 6 million. So fortunately, with all those big sales, we were able to raise over 90 million. Look, we've sold a load more youngsters and let alone go. Obviously, Kylian Mbappe has joined Real Madrid. But we managed to bring in 93 million, which was a lot more than I was expecting. At the start of the window, there wasn't really any interest in our players, and then fortunately, everything kind of just exploded. If we look over on the other side of the ins, So obviously we've got Haaland, which I thought it was 34 minutes, actually a 38.5 million loan deal for the season. If we can't get him permanently, that is a huge outlay for just one season. Then we got our free transfers, Simi Vrsaljko from Atletico Madrid. Someone please tell me how to pronounce that properly. Paulo Dybala has obviously come in from Juventus, another exceptional forward. He's going to play number 10 for us behind Haaland, feeding Haaland those passes to finish, hopefully. He has had a little bit of injury problems. If we have a look at his history of injuries, we can see that last season he did have a total of 5 injuries. In the last 2 years, he's had how many has he had actually? No, he's had 6 last season and 7 in the last 2 years. So he might be a little bit injury prone now. They've not been for long periods, apart from that pulled calf muscle at the start of 2021. But he has had some regular injuries, and although he's played in all our preseason games, he has struggled to get up to match fitness. He's still not quite there. But you can see in the 5 appearances that he's made in pre-season, he's got 4 assists. So hopefully that bodes really, really well for the season. We also got Andrea Belotti. He was actually, I was struggling to think what I was going to do with him when we got Haaland in, because we had Icardi as well. But now with Icardi gone, he is going to be our backup striker. He's typically a target man, but I think we will probably play him as the pressing forward or the advanced forward, so as not to change the role too much from what Icardi was doing. He's very, very similar to Icardi. I think he's a really good backup, and really having Belotti was the only reason I was willing to let Icardi go. So pleased to get him in. Then we've got Facundo Farias that we saw last season. I actually didn't realise that he can play left wing. I thought when we scouted him, he can play right wing. So he could actually be as a backup to Neymar on the left wing when we want to rotate. It could actually be a great opportunity to play in there to develop him and help him improve, the 19-year-old wonder kid. So although I would have liked a good replacement for Mbappe, I think having Farias and being able to develop him there is a nice little option. Nicolo Barella obviously came in. It's going to be a total of 81 million when all the payments are made, but he has been phenomenal in pre-season. He looks like he's got a really, really good partnership with Verratti. Looks really solid. Looks like he's really going to give us more midfield control. I just think he's going to be a dominant player, real leader for the team. And we also, for 1.5 million, we decided to go and sign Philip Bundgaard, this young Dane. He looks, again, 18 years old, a really, really good prospect as a creative midfielder or a striker. I think is a really good signing for the future, coming in from Randers FC in Denmark. And yeah, I think he's a really, really nice little prospect. He wants to go out on loan. I think we'll try and look for a loan for him. But if he stays here, I think, again, he's a really nice little prospect to bring in cup games. And when we want to rotate in the league, I would have no problem if Belotti was injured, for example, having him as the backup striker for this season. I think in the majority of Ligue 1 games, he is going to be absolutely fine. So that's how we're looking. We are very, very happy with how the team looks there. Like I say, the only positions that we're really missing right now is a backup for Neymar on the left wing, a replacement for Kylian Mbappe, and a possible left back, because Juan Bernat is actually on his way out. He has agreed a deal with Manchester City, a 23.5 million offer they gave us. I decided to accept it to get his 140,000 a week wages off the books, but also with that money, we are looking to bring in, if we go back to transfers, we are looking to bring in Lucas Hernandez from Bayern Munich. Obviously, this has been an ongoing saga. We have a deal agreed. I think it's 48 million. So we're just waiting to confirm that next week. We were waiting for the Icardi funds to come in to allow us to make this transfer. If we can confirm this signing, then I feel like we really do have a Champions League winning squad. The only position that we would be lacking would be that left wing replacement for Mbappe. But Lucas Hernandez for me is one of the best left backs available in the game. So I'm really keen to confirm that. That does make it harder to raise the money for Haaland at the end of the season, but I just think Lucas Hernandez is such a critical player. We also have a bid from Inter for Levin Kurzawa, 13 million. Again, I think at 29, I probably would let him go. Obviously came in from Monaco many years ago now. Really good left back. Had a great season last season. Was named left back of the season in Ligue 1. But at 29, 90,000 a week, I think we can let him go. And then we have the option here of a 10.5 million deal for Faitut Mawassa, 24-year-old Frenchman. So we would be swapping a French national for a French national, which would be great in terms of Champions League registrations. If we just compare him to Kurzawa, you can see they are very similar players. He's actually defensively better than Kurzawa, and offensively, there's not that much difference between them. If we look at attributes, they are rated pretty even in just about everything. So I think what we're going to do, Mawassa is going to come in for, I think we have agreed something around 20, I'm going to say about £23,000 a week. So we would massively save on Kurzawa's wages there. If we look at the finances, we do have, so right now we have the 41 million budget to bring in Hernandez, but then we can raise another 23 from selling Bernat, another 15 or 13 from selling Kurzawa, and then if we bring that money in, you can see that our current spend is about 6.5 million. We can knock that down a little bit by getting rid of Kurzawa, but then obviously Hernandez is going to come in on a lot of money. But so that's kind of how the whole team situation is right now. We are just about to play the Coupe des Champions against Strasbourg, and for this game we do have some injury issues. We've got a lot of players currently out injured. Nicolas Soulé picked up a little 3-week injury again. Vraljaco is currently injured, so he cannot make his debut today. Paredes also picked up a little injury, and unfortunately Lionel Messi too. So he also cannot play in this game today. Isco had a little bit of a knock, so he's just coming back to fitness. He could play today if we want him to. I think we might change him up for Farias. So this is basically the squad that is going to start the final of the Coupe des Champions. So Donnarumma, Hakimi, Kimpembe, Marquinhos and Kurzawa probably playing his last game at left back. Barella will make his debut alongside Verratti in midfield. Dybala will make his debut as the number 10. Neymar and Di Maria on the wings, and Erling Haaland making his debut up front. So that is how we're looking. Obviously on the bench, if we just have a quick look there, Sergio Ramos, Diallo, who can play centre back and left back, Idrissa Gueye, Wijnaldum, the midfield options, Yazici, who has also been pretty good in pre-season, Isco and Belotti on the bench. So if we just go forward to the game, now we spent a little bit of time speaking. We are actually today, we are going to play this game in this episode. We are going to come back for a part 2 where we will play the opening game of the season against Marseille. Huge derby game to kick off the season. And then we will be looking at what fixtures might be interesting going forward. We are expecting to completely dominate League on this season, so I think we'll be watching less games in the league. We'll probably have a focus much more on the Champions League, as that's going to be our big target. And basically we are under real pressure now, because with the signings that we have made, with the squad that we've put together, like I say, I really think we have to be considered major contenders to win the Champions League. And I'm going to put pressure on myself, because I am now ready to do my long-term FM22 save for the season, a really good road to glory save, which I have got coming up. And so I am putting all my eggs in this season's basket. We are going to play this season. Whatever happens, I will leave Paris Saint-Germain at the end of this season, and we will then simulate a further season to see how the team goes without me. But basically, if I don't win the Champions League this season with the squad that we've put together, it's not going to happen. So major pressure there. There are, of course, teams like Liverpool. Liverpool, by the way, won the Club World Cup. They beat Bayern Munich in the final, who obviously beat us in the quarterfinal. So those are the two clubs, along with Manchester City, that I think are the major contenders to win the Champions League this season. We've got to try and get to the level. They were both much better than us when we played them. We've got to try and get to that level this season with the signings that we've made, and try and win that trophy. I think we can do it. Let's there you go. Whenever you talk about the fans with the players in your team talk, they never react. They couldn't care less about the fans. Talk about how the media have been praising them and they love it. Talk about the fans, not interested. Yeah, so basically we start off today beginning this journey to see if we can raise our game to the level of Liverpool, of Bayern Munich, to win the Champions League. So here we go. Season 2 officially kicks off with this Paris Saint-Germain team. I am a little bit worried that we have made a lot of signings. I'm a little bit worried that it may take some time for the new players to integrate into the team and into the squad, and we might see a bit of a negative impact on performances. Obviously, we ended last season just blowing everybody away, blowing them out the water. You can see we have not started at all well here. We are now a little bit more on top in terms of shots at goal, but no highlights as it stands. I think I'm just going to switch up here as a highlight starts. I'm going to go a little bit wider and be expressive. Let the players express themselves and try and, there you go. So it wasn't a highlight at all. Let's hope those changes kind of help us get a little bit more of a grip on this game. They have the possession, which is kind of a consequence of our tactics. But we are now having a lot more shots than them. 5 on target, still no highlights, which is disappointing. As we now get this free kick, who is on it? It's Neymar. And our season is underway. Neymar hasn't had a great pre-season, actually. It seems like with Haaland coming in, he hasn't had the same sorts of opportunities. All the players kind of been going through Haaland, and he hasn't been getting so involved. I don't think he scored in pre-season, so that's a really good start for him. And we do now look as if we're starting to take control as Haaland gets his head on it, and Neymar gets his second. Flicked on by Haaland. And we are looking comfortable going into half-time. The long throw from Hakimi. Haaland gets the flick on. Neymar gets there before the keeper. And the trophy that we failed to win last season looks like it is going to be coming to Paris. Really good first half. Got to be pleased with how we finished. Maybe we didn't start that well. Let's tell the players not to get complacent. They've reacted well to that. Do we want to make any changes at half time? Thinking about the Marseille game, we do have a few days to prepare afterwards, so they do have a little bit of recovery time, but I think for the moment we'll continue. I'm just looking at Dybala and Haaland, how their fitness levels are looking. They're the two players who are a little bit more tired than anybody else right now, so we'll see how the game's going, but those will probably be the first changes we'll make, just to try and have everybody fresh and on their game for Marseille. As Di Maria finds Neymar. And there is a debut goal for Erling Haaland. It had to happen. It had to happen. He's just too good. The amount of chances that we are going to create for Erling Haaland this season, expect him to break all sorts of Ligue 1 records. Absolutely phenomenal. He's just so strong, so good in the air. Those sorts of chances. And obviously Neymar now has 2 goals and an assist to his name as they get one back. Is that offside? It isn't. Or is it? Yes, it is. We've maybe been a little bit fortunate, but I think it was a clear offside. There you can see he's well off. We were a little bit lucky that he went so early because nobody had tracked him. Let's demand a little bit more from the team. And I think after this highlight, we will start to make some changes. Make sure Neymar and Haaland are fit, as Haaland is brought down for the penalty. Is he? No, it's not given. Seemed pretty clear, but the attack goes on as Neymar loses it. And our Strasbourg starting to come into this game now. They're certainly starting to have chances. And a good stop from Donnarumma. Would like to see us really put in a good, solid defensive display here. Really set us up for the Marseille game and the season. I would like to see us improve our goals against record. And let's start to make some changes then. I think Neymar will be disappointed if we take him off with him being on a hat-trick. Well, Neymar is a little bit fitter still than Dybala and Haaland, so I think we will bring Dybala off for Jasici. We'll give him his debut in there, and Erling Haaland is going to be changed for Belotti, who will get his debut. Let's just make him, I think so his best position is a pressing forward, so let's let him play that role. We'll just make those 2 changes to begin with. I think we can, of course, now that COVID is officially over in game, I think we can only make one more change here. I'm not sure if the rule is any different with this being the Coupe de Champion. Let's see if we can get the players a little bit more fired up. Let's see if we can get a real emphatic victory to start the season, really lay down a marker for the rest of the league. We'll make one more change and we will see if the game is going to allow us another. Do we bring Kurzawa off? Let's get Kurzawa on his last game for the club. Let's get him his round of applause. Diallo can come in there. And Marco Verratti is looking pretty tired. Do we go Wijnaldum or perhaps Isco? I think we'll bring in Wijnaldum. No, we can't. There you go. We've made all our changes. Do I want to go back and change then, actually, just to rest Verratti? I think I am going to change Kurzawa back, actually. There you go. I'm changing my mind now. Just looking at how tired Verratti is. I just want him to be fit for the Marseille game. So let's take him out. Oh, there we go. I'm getting mixed up with my pauses and my starts. Can we get another goal maybe in the last 10 minutes just to kind of wrap this up on a high note? Marquinhos is a ball-playing defender, really good option to support the attacks. And Belotti gets his debut goal. Di Maria, the top assister in Ligue 1 from last season, is at it again with a lovely through ball. Jasici just getting that down to Di Maria, and Di Maria with that much time and space, all the time in the world to pick out Belotti for a dream debut. And we are starting the season with a trophy, with a victory. And again, the fact that we failed to win this trophy last season, it's a nice result to get. Just gives us that feeling that we're making progress. And whereas last season we had to watch Lille make this walk to collect the trophy, this season it's Paris Saint-Germain. Marquinhos will lift the trophy. There we go. And whilst it may not be the Champions League, whilst it may not be an important trophy in the grand scheme of things, just nice to get that one out of the way and just start the season on a high. Really pleasing performance. And hopefully we can now lay down a really strong marker by beating Marseille in the next game. Wonderful performance from Neymar and Haaland on his debut. Nice to see Di Maria get an assist to start the season. Congratulate the players. And well, so we are going to leave it here. We are going to have another episode up with the next game against Marseille. So don't miss that. And we will be back in just a little while to see how this dream team, this Harlem Globetrotters of football, starts the new season.